me get the mic. Honey, I got something to say. Ooh, I like that. Can you turn that up for me? No, like, it's Maja. But you know, Maj for short. Ask Maj. What's up? What's up? It's your girl Maj, and we are back with another episode of Ask Maj, the podcast, where I am spilling all the real tea. So, exciting news! Ask Maj, the podcast is now on iHeartRadio. Whoop whoop! So you can now download and listen to the podcast on iHeartRadio. Such a major accomplishment, and I'm so proud to be announcing that. That is so exciting for me. So yes, great news to start this episode. So Maj moment of the day. Today's Maj moment comes from a scripture, and the scripture is Joshua 1:3. And it reads, "I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses." So I chose this because I think this speaks to a place of when we disqualify ourselves, whether that be, from job interviews, whether that be from relationships, whether that be from business ventures, business ideas, any ideas that we have going on in our minds. I think that we typically self-sabotage, and we already disqualify ourselves before we even make the first step. Like, soon as we get the idea, we already begin to have doubts as to why we can't do this, or why we aren't qualified enough, or why we don't fit this position. And so my pastor preached on this, and it really just stuck with me because this scripture lets me know that, I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. This scripture lets me know that wherever I walk, wherever I set my foot, it already belongs to me. God has already given me everything that I've asked for. He's in places. He's given me places and things and ideas and businesses that I haven't even thought about. Rooms that I haven't even walked in yet are already mine. They already belong to me. And so I think, when we think about, self-sabotage and self-doubt and disqualifying ourselves even before we make the first step, I think this is a good reminder that you already have wherever you want to set your foot. It already belongs to you. Whatever you want, any business idea, any business venture, a job, interview, relationship, anything that you can think of, wherever you set your foot, it already belongs to you. So I just wanted to encourage you. I participated in a mental health event last Friday, put on by a former classmate, Miss Justice Little. So shout out to Justice if you're listening. That was an amazing panel, but it was basically a safe space to talk about mental health issues and the things that people are dealing with now, in these crazy times, and just give people a space to talk about these things, to have open dialogue, and talk about what it is that we're going through, and share, our own personal stories and our own personal journeys. And one of the speakers, shout out to my king, Jamal Averett. First of all, shout out to all the panelists. They were amazing. Cedric Moore, yes, of More Faith. Shout out to him and Reggie for More Faith. I can't remember all of the panelists' names. Alexis, and there were a few other ones. So shout out to all the panelists. But when it got to Jamal, he talked about self-sabotage. He was a speaker for the self-sabotage portion, and he talked about, believing in yourself, and he asked, what are you willing to risk? And so he just spoke about, how you can overcome self-doubt and begin to really believe in yourself. So that's kind of what inspired me, to create this Maj moment. That's what inspired this Maj moment, is that when you think about, doubting yourself, when you think about self-sabotage and you think about, disqualifying yourself even before you walk in the room, understand that it's already yours. Wherever you set your foot, it is already yours. God has already given that to you. God has already promised that to you. So just want to encourage you that, like I said, when you begin to doubt yourself, remember that he's already preparing tables. He's already setting up rooms. He already made your bed in homes that you don't even know about, that you haven't even thought about. Those things are already yours. So encourage yourself. You got this. No more self-sabotage. No more self-doubt. And no more disqualifying yourself. It already belongs to you. So yes, Smash Moment of the Day. Moving on, let's get into this Chloe and Halle new album. Ungodly Hour. Oh my gosh. First of all, I don't know what I love more. I don't know if I love the album more or I love them more, because I have been a fan of them for a while. I've been watching them for a little while, and I just absolutely love their growth. And I might be a little biased because they are direct products of Beyonce, and yes, shout out to the Beehive. We go hard for B, and the B stand for bands. Oh, don't you forget it. But I think I may be a little biased because they are a product of Beyonce, but I just love them, what they stand for, how they carry themselves, their aura, their vibe. Like, I just love just everything about them, and the fact that they're young Black women with dreads and they own that and they're bad. I could just loathe over them all day. Like, I just absolutely love it. And this is not to down any other woman, but do you know, imagine they are the same age as Kylie Jenner, Lori Harvey, and Jordan Woods. So Kylie, I believe, is 22. Lori is between like 23-ish, and Jordan Woods is either 22 or 23 too. Chloe is 21. Halle is 19. Like, can you just think about that for a second? I feel like they have really, like, you can grow with them, right? Like, you can transition to different stages of life with them. Like, I feel like you can relate to them way more versus when you think about Kylie and Lori and Jordan. Like, I feel like they are on the other side. Like, they are on the absolute other side. And I mean, like I said, no disrespect, but, you know, Kylie has gotten all of these surgeries. She literally looks like a grown woman, like full-blown grown woman. And I feel like Chloe and Halle truly, truly fit their age. They're so classy. They're so tasteful. I love the fact that they seem pretty private, but obviously they're public about, you know, what their fans love. And I don't know. I'm not going to say, I want to say they get that from Beyonce, because it does seem like, you know, they are completely under her care. But if they are completely right, you know, under Beyonce, like, I do appreciate the fact that they still have their own, right? They still have their own identity, their own brand. Like I said, every now and then you could feel a little bit of B's vibe, you know, even in some of their music, and how they carry themselves, you could feel a little bit of B's vibe. But they definitely have their own identity. Like, they're growing into their own identity. And I absolutely love that. So, yes, Ungodly Hour just came out Friday, I think. Yes, came out Friday. And it is a bop. It is a little vibe. And like I said, y'all know me. Like, I like to listen to albums all the way through. I'm not a skip through. I like to listen to it all the way through. That's how I create my review or my rating as to how I feel about the album. So I listen to it all the way through, and it's definitely a little vibe. Like, it's a nice little bob. Like, you can ride to that with the windows down, or maybe I just like riding with my windows down with the music playing. But so I might be biased to that. But, and you know, one thing I do like about their music is they have a soulful vibe, but their music is very diverse. So you can tell it appeals to a wide audience. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And again, I think even with their brand, I think the music falls into that, but it's so tasteful. It's so funny because, you know, they threw in a couple of cuss words and I'm like, not y'all cussing. But it's so tasteful. Like, I think they're so tasteful. They're so classy about what they do, how they do it, how they portray themselves. Like, just, oh my God, like, I stand them. I so stand them. And then they dropped the 2 videos, Do It and Forgive Me. So I didn't really care for the Forgive Me video. It was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. But the Do It video was so cute. And I don't know, Beyonce definitely seemed like she had a hand in that Do It video. Like, she had some ideas. She suggested some scenes in that video that gave me a little bit of her vibe in that video. But yeah, so shout out to Chloe and Halle on their new album. And they are just riding this wave. They were on Good Morning America on Tuesday, performing, and then they performed their Do It single for the YouTube graduation for the class of 2020, and they're just riding this wave. I absolutely love it. I just love them. I definitely stand them. So yeah, shout out to Chloe and Halle on their new album. So speaking of more good news, Teyana Taylor's pregnant. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I also stand Teyana Taylor. Like, she's definitely one of my faves, and I'm just so happy for her and her family. Like, I love I just love them. I like Chloe and Halle. I stand for what they stand for. I believe in what they stand for, and I just love how they carry themselves as a family. And so she revealed that she was pregnant, and the latest video is called "Wake Up Love." Oh, I just love the song. I love the video. I love that she announced that she was pregnant. Yes, Teyana Taylor. Like, I'm so freaking here for it. Oh, and then she just announced that she is releasing her new album on Friday. Like, I can't. Like, this is too much. I'm overwhelmed, but so excited all at the same time. Can I just say that when I have a baby 10 years from now, yes, I said 10 years from now because I'm going to be like 38 with the 1-year-old. Because paper first, babies later, okay? I want my maternity shoot to look like Teyana Taylor's. That video, Wake Up Love. Like, I need it to be like cloudy. I'm in heaven. All of that stuff because my baby's an angel. Okay, yes. So shout out to Teyana Taylor for her new video, for the announcement of her new album, and her new little bundle of joy. It would be so cute if it was a boy, so Junie could have like a little brother. But yeah, shout out to them. And then Iman hopped on a little track. I was like, okay, here for it. So yes, and then speaking of Iman, he did this interview not too long ago, and the question was something along the lines of like, what's the favorite thing, what's the best thing about being with Tiana or about their relationship or something like that. And I really just loved his answer, and I wanted to touch on this a little bit. But he said he loves the freedom to grow when it comes to him and Tiana. And I just absolutely love that. I absolutely love that because I think when you think about a relationship, that's how you really build an empire, right? Like, you have your own, I have my own, and then we find a way to merge the two, right? We find a way to merge our visions. And I think that's the point of getting married, is because your visions match. And you two come together for a sole purpose. Like, you have your purpose, you know, he or she has her or his purpose, and then you bring that together and then you build this empire. And I think that's how relationships last, because obviously I'm not going to wake up every day and like you know. Some days I'm not going to want to be bothered with you. You know, some days I'm just not going to feel it. You know what I'm saying? But what really keeps us together is the fact that we are working towards something. We are working towards a vision. We are working towards a purpose that is bigger than both of us. So, yeah, shout out to Iman and Tiana for their new little bundle of joy. Like, I'm just in awe. I'm overwhelmed. I'm so excited all at the same time. Like, it's literally all love. So, yes, and then there were also rumors that Nicki is pregnant. I don't know. She has not confirmed this, but she just dropped a video. We're not going to get into that, but she just dropped a video, and she posted a picture, and in the picture it looks like she has a little baby bump. So she has not confirmed whether or not she's pregnant yet, but Nicki, the rumors are swirling, okay? The rumors are swirling. We want to know. I mean, I think people kind of already know because you can see the baby bump, so I don't know, maybe it could be the angle of the camera or whatever, but in the picture, she looks pregnant. So, I don't know, Nicki, you know, shout out to you. Congratulations if you are pregnant, and if not, you know, please disregard. Okay, moving on. So speaking of new videos, Lil Baby just dropped, Lil Baby just dropped his new music video for his song, The Bigger Picture. And I'm going to say, not a huge Lil Baby fan. Lil Baby, I'm proper, y'all. Lil Baby. Not a huge Lil Baby fan. However, I can acknowledge and appreciate the fact that he is choosing to use his platform for good. I can really appreciate that. And a lot of us, you know, when we think about, you know, the Black community, and we think about, let's be honest, you know, cancel culture, a lot of us are, you know, depending on, you know, our influencers and these rappers and, you know, these artists and celebrities just in general, even companies, you know, to really take a stand on, you know, what's happening, really use their platform and their influence to speak out, you know, against what's happening and take action for change. So, you know, shout out to him. And my thing is this, regardless if you like it or if you don't, or you disagree or you don't like, I can say that we can all agree that, you know, at least he's trying. Well, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like, you know, he's trying. He did take that step to, you know, use his platform, for good. And so, you know, it's crazy because after he dropped a video, his latest album jumped back up to number 1 on Billboard 200 charts after 3 months. So shout out to Lil Baby for that. And I just wanted to read this line from the song that kind of resonated with me. He said, people speaking for the people. I'm proud of them. Stick together. We can get it up out of them. I can't lie like I don't rap about killing and dope, but I'm telling my youngins to vote. So I don't know, that line just resonated with me because, like if you guys listen to the last episode, I talked about, I talked about the importance of unifying as a community, and addressing issues that we have within our community, but not letting those same issues break us apart. So I think, like I said, the importance of, making a real impact, and change, I think starts with us, right? It starts with us becoming more unified. And so I think that's what this line speaks to, is like, I'm an influencer, I'm a celebrity, I'm going to use my voice to help my people. And I think the line about, I can't lie, I don't rap, he said, I can't lie like I don't rap about killing and dope. I think that was a point of like accountability. And not for anything specific, but it's kind of like, I may not be the perfect person. I may not be the spokesperson, the perfect spokesperson or the right spokesperson for, this movement, but I am here to encourage my people to go vote. Like, I am here to help in any way that I can. Like, I am here to like use my platform for good, to speak out against this, this racial inequality, this racial injustice, and this state of our world. Like, I think, I just appreciate that. I can appreciate Lil Baby for using his platform for good. So yeah, shout out to Lil Baby for that. Like I said, whether you agree or disagree, I can appreciate, him using his platform for good. So yes, moving on. I'm almost scared to get into this topic, but here we go. Miss B. Simone. Sis has been catching heat for the last few weeks, and I almost feel bad for her. So let's get into it, because I really want to talk about this, and I really want to kind of give my thoughts about some of her comments, and just what's going on just with her. So a little background for those of you who don't know or may not be on social media. First, the fans canceled B. Simone because she made a tweet about the whole Black Lives Matter movement. And the tweet had something to do with like, I go to God, I'm a Christian, I ask myself, what would Jesus do? Not what would an angry Black woman do? So on and so forth. So people weren't feeling that. Okay, cool, whatever, moving on. So then she came out and there was an interview. Well, she didn't come out, but there was a video that surfaced of her and Nick Cannon. And Nick Cannon was interviewing her about her relationship preferences. So in the video, B. Simone said that her next boyfriend or her next husband cannot have a 9-to-5 because, and I quote, he is not going to understand my lifestyle. He's not going to understand why I'm up at 3 a.m. She also stated that entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs. And then Nick Cannon asked her, if she wanted someone with CEO status who owns their own business, and she agreed. So she said yes. Okay. Still, I think in this regard, I have an unpopular opinion, because a lot of people, I think, took what she said and kind of created their own opinions about it. They kind of took what she said and interpreted based on what they wanted to hear or what they wanted it to mean. So first, let me say this, because I like to think objectively, right? For the people who disliked, what she said, or felt like, she was trying to downplay people with the 9-to-5 or, whatever. I understand. Like, I can see how her comments about men are not wanting a man who has a 9-to-5 could have been misconstrued or taken it the way that a lot of people took it. Because a lot of people kind of took this stance, in my opinion, as like, to validate a 9-to-5. Like, okay, she said she doesn't want a 9-to-5. However, 9-to-5 still make money. There are some people, with 9-to-5s who also are entrepreneurs, and, 9-to-5, some 9-to-5s make more than, people who are entrepreneurs and so on and so forth. So I understand why people took it that way. However, I do, from watching the video, and I watched it over and over and over, I do not think B. Simone meant it in a way to devalue or to take value from people who work 9 to 5s. And let me say, I work a 9 to 5. Like, I'm a 9 to 5er, and I also have my side gigs. You know, I also have my side hustles that I work on, you know, that 6 to 10 time range. So I didn't take offense to it. Like, I didn't think that she was, you know, taking value away or devaluing somebody who has a 9 to 5. And I say that because she also said, you know, she believes that entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs. And in this regard, I feel like that is her personal experience. Like, that is her personal perspective. And I think she developed that opinion, or she established that opinion based on her own personal perspective, like based on her own personal experience. So if she chooses to not date somebody who has a 9 to 5 because she feels like the person with the 9 to 5 is not going to understand her lifestyle, that is her right. Like, if that's how she feels based on, you know, what she's experienced in the past, that is her right. Like, that is her right. And she even said, you know, she dated somebody with a 9 to 5. So she feels like, you know, now that she's an entrepreneur, she wants somebody with, you know, who is an entrepreneur. And I think that's her right. I don't think that she was saying, you know, people with 9 to 5s are lower than people with entrepreneurs, you know, or excuse me, lower than people who are entrepreneurs or aren't as, you know, valuable as entrepreneurs. I don't think that she was saying that people with 9 to 5s don't make, you know, enough money or they don't have as much money as entrepreneurs. I don't think she was saying any of those things. In fact, she didn't even mention money. Like, she did not even mention money. So, like I said, I can see how people took what she said and ran with it, but I don't think that she was trying to take any value away from people who have a 9 to 5. Like, I think that she was talking from a personal place. This is what I want. This is what I want in a man. And I don't want to date somebody who has a 9 to 5. I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I like I said, I understand why people took it the way they did, but I don't necessarily agree. Like, if that's what she wants, that's her prerogative, whatever. Sis, that's your personal experience. And I also think it's okay to disagree with what she said, without taking it as, you know, as like she's, you know, devaluing people with a 9 to 5. Like, I don't think that's what she was doing. And like I said, she clarified and even said, like, I believe entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs. There is nothing wrong with that, you know. And I think people are like, well, like I said, 9 to 5s, you know, I work a 9 to 5 and I have a side hustle, or, you know, I'm working my 9 to 5 to fund my entrepreneurship, whatever venture, you know, so on and so forth. And like I said, I don't think that she was speaking to money. You know, she's speaking to personal lifestyle, personal experience, and I think that's what shaped her personal perspective and her opinion on this matter. So I think she was talking just from a place of like, this is my preference. I don't want somebody who works a 9 to 5, and this is the reason, because of my own personal experiences. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So sis, shout out to you for, you know, your own preference. Like, completely up to you. And I feel like that's your right. Like, you are entitled to your personal perspective and your personal preference. And another thing I don't agree with, like, as I was just like scrolling through Twitter and Instagram, about comments, you know, that were geared toward her and her comments about the whole 9 to 5 issue. A lot of people were bashing her for like how she looks and her career and, you know, stuff like that. And that's where I can't get with, because my thing is this: as a community, we need to learn how to disagree with people without bashing them. Like, she's not stupid because you don't agree with her. You know what I'm saying? Or she's not ugly, or you know, if you don't like the slit in her eyebrow. What do that got to do with you disagreeing with her comments? You know what I'm saying? Or she don't dress, or her body is this, that's why she ain't this. What does that have to do with you not agreeing with her comments? It doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with that. And it sucks because I feel like we go like for the worst. Like, if you disagree with her comments, cool, disagree with them. But I don't feel like we need to bash her as a woman, you know what I'm saying, when you don't agree with her. Why are we talking about the slit in her eyebrow? Because you don't agree with her comments. Why are we talking about how her body is shaped? Because you don't agree with her comments. But the reality is, the same people who are on Twitter and Instagram saying, you know, are bashing her for her looks, bashing her career, and bashing anything else, are the same people who are screaming, protect Black women. I don't get it. Learn to disagree. with somebody's decision without bashing them. Like, it doesn't need to be that. Like, you don't need to bash her career. You don't need to bash how she looks. You don't need to bring in her physical appearance or what you don't like about her physical appearance to back up your point that you disagree with her. Point blank, period. And now, it makes me think, like, do you just not like her? Like, are these people that just don't like her? You know what I'm saying? Do you just not like her? Like, if you don't like her, say that. I never liked her from the beginning or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing. But to come for how she looks and to truly bash her as a woman because you don't agree with her comments, I think that's a whole nother level, and I can't get with that. And again, when I addressed colorism in the last episode, I talked about this. Like, we can agree, to disagree on some things without it tearing us apart. Like, everything doesn't need to be a fight. Everything doesn't need to be something where, we're coming for each other's heads. Like, again, it's about using our weapon, which is unity. Like, that's how we're going to make it past these things, is unifying. So why can't we address these issues without them tearing us apart as a Black community? And to be honest, I feel like, when whoever looks at us, if they already look at us as a joke or they don't take us seriously, this is why. Like, this is why. And I feel like if we're going to stand for something, if we're going to fight for something, fight for 100%. Not so much as it benefits you. Not so much as it benefits you. But, child, that's a whole nother story for another day. But, yes. So, I also don't agree with that. Like, disagree with her comments and let that be that. Like, don't bash the woman. Like, disagree with her and move on. So, yes, that's my take on that. So, the next thing she got canceled for was, she has this book that she released not too long ago, and she took us on this journey of, like, becoming this millionaire. And I think her having the book was the tip of the iceberg for her to become a millionaire. Okay, wonderful. And like I said, she kind of took us through that journey on social media about how she got to, where she is. So it was kind of cool, seeing her journey or whatever. So from my understanding, the book is about manifestation, manifesting the life you want. I consider it like a self-help book. And then it has, like, pages to plan things, and it talks about her personal experience and her journey to, manifestation and her journey through manifestation to reaching her goals and dreams and so on and so forth. And so the book is supposed to be about her life. And it's supposed to help you, be inspired from her journey. So, like I said, she's been promoting this book. So a few days ago, a couple of people came out and said that B. Simone plagiarized the book. Like, some pages in the book were plagiarized or whatever from smaller content creators. So, of course, people went in. And we all have the right to do that. Okay, so people went in about, her plagiarizing. Okay, so she came out and she released this video. And it was an apology video, kind of taking accountability for what happened and, I guess how the process went wrong or so on and so forth. And she talked about, how she, as a leader, she takes accountability, so on and so forth, whatever. So I'm not going to read the whole caption, but in the caption, she did say, like, I have built my career on complete transparency and vulnerability. That's what she started with. And she said, even though this was not intentional, I am still so very sorry to the content creators, and I understand their frustration 100%. To my supporters, I apologize. You trust me to deliver honesty and authenticity, and although some things were done without my knowledge, I am the leader, and I dropped the ball. So, from my understanding, what I got from the whole situation is that this book is, like I said, the book is about her life. It's about using her personal experiences, her journey to inspire us to manifest the life we want, to inspire her fans, people who read the book, to manifest the life that you want through manifestation. And like I said, her journey, her experiences are supposed to inspire you to do that. So she hired a design agency or some sort of agency or whatever to help her with the book. So what it sounds like from I guess her story is that she hired this agency, gave them her ideas, and they wrote the book. So she didn't know that the content was, I guess, plagiarized until these content creators came out and accused her of plagiarism or whatever. But there were also like things, facts that she went back and forth about, like, you know, in the past that the chapters she wrote personally, like she wrote on her own, and she personally wrote the pages, some of the pages or whatever. So obviously there's some discrepancies in the whole story, and I think that we will never truly get the entire story. We weren't there, we don't know, we, you know, whatever. And, you know, we don't work with the design agency, we don't know what the contract states, whatever. So here's my thing. Let me say this. There is absolutely no justification as an entrepreneur and as somebody who is putting out a book about their own personal life. There is no justification for you to come out with the book and to find out later that it was plagiarized. No justification. You are the author. You are the brand. This is your thing. You are the leader. Like she said in the video, she was like, I'm the coach. You are the coach. There was no way this should have slipped through the cracks. There's no excuse. There's no justification. None of that. Like, none of that is a justification. There is no excuse. Like I said, I could say that 1,000 times. Like, there is no excuse that this slipped through the cracks, that your book plagiarized smaller content creators. Like, that looks so bad. You want to talk about a PR crisis? Like, PR crisis is an understatement. Like, there's absolutely no excuse. However, I do feel like that was an honest mistake. I do not believe that B. Simone had any intentions on taking content from smaller content creators. Like, I don't think she sat around, thought about ideas for this book and you know, intentionally stole or plagiarized content from these smaller content creators. I don't believe that. Now, I do think that this entire situation, you know, if she's like, I'm the leader, you know, this is my book, and you know, allow somebody else to write the book, I don't necessarily agree with that either, because this book is about your experience. You know, this is about your journey, about your life, about how you manifested everything you want. So I think that you should have been writing majority of this, and they kind of like do the polishing. Now, obviously we're on the outside, so I don't know what the contract was or what the agreement between her and the agency was. But I don't see how this could have slipped through the cracks. Now, I do believe, you know, when it comes to creativity and then when it comes to inspiration, we look for other people, right? We look for people who if you have a clothing line, right, and you have a couple of, you're starting a clothing line, and you have, you know, a few favorite clothing lines that you like, you know, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Fendi, Prada, whatever. And, you know, you take ideas from them, but you make them your own. Like, that's where you get inspiration. That's how creativity is birthed, right? Is because you've seen something that you like, and you create your own based on that. So I don't know if maybe she took, you know, these people's content and took it to them like, hey, I really like this, you know, can we use this as reference? Can we, you know, take ideas from this or whatever, I don't know. But I do not believe that there is a justification that it slipped through the cracks. Like, there is no way you release a whole book and, you know, weeks later or months later you find out that it's plagiarized. Like, that is crazy to me. Like I said, there is no justification. However, I feel like this does not speak to the fact that I feel like she has malicious intent, or like I said, her intent was to, you know, steal from these content creators and then call it entrepreneurship or call it her own. I think this speaks to her carelessness as an entrepreneur. Like, this speaks to her laziness as an entrepreneur. And I mean, to be real, I feel like we live in a generation where, you know, everybody wants this microwave success, right? Everybody wants this 15 seconds, you know, of fame. Like, oh, I'm just gonna meet the right person. I'm just gonna, you know, create something quick, or I'm gonna create something and then, you know, I'm just gonna have automatic success. You know, like, we live in this generation where people just want stuff so quick. Like, there is no patience anymore. So I believe maybe that's what happened there. You know, she just was so, you know, eager to make it to this millionaire status or whatever, that she was willing to take shortcuts. You know, she was willing to be lazy. And I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of people do that. Is it right? No, it's not right at all. But like I said, we live in a microwave generation where people don't want to take the time for success. Like, understand that success is a journey. It's a long-term campaign. It's about, you know, work ethic and resilience and perseverance and, you know, working until you have reached that mark. What did Nipsey say is, you know, the marathon continues. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And so people want success so quick. You know, they just think you just create something, you turn around and you famous the next day. And so I think nobody preaches, you know, a process. Nobody preaches marathon anymore. It's just sprint. Like, it's just get it how you can, you know, like let's go viral quickly kind of thing. And nobody puts in work anymore. And honestly, a lot of people argue that there's not a lot of talent anymore because of that, you know, because it's so easy to become viral, or it's so easy to become famous, you know, off of one simple thing. And so it speaks to the quality of your work. It speaks to the quality of your talent. So I think maybe that could have been, you know, the situation there, that she was just in a rush to, you know, reach the millionaire status. She was in a rush to, you know, put out the book or whatever, that she was just willing to just take whatever came her way. Like, she didn't take the time to look over it. You know, she didn't take the time to read, do her own research, you know, so on and so forth. But like I said, I think that speaks to her laziness, her carelessness, just as an entrepreneur who is putting out a book that is about your brand and about your experience and about your journey on the way to becoming a millionaire, on the way to becoming a successful entrepreneur. So I don't think that she had malicious intent behind it, or, you know, she meant to, you know, purposely, you know, do what, you know, copy these people. I don't think that at all. And I feel like people are making her out like she's malicious, you know, or this was her intent, or she did this on purpose. And I don't think that. I don't think that at all. Like I said, I think it was a inexcusable mistake. Like, there is no justification behind it. And honestly, it's gonna take a long time to, you know, rebuild her career. You know, I think it's possible. Absolutely. But I do think she made an honest mistake, an honest, careless mistake, as an entrepreneur. But I don't think that she had malicious intent. And I don't think this makes her a bad person. I don't. I just don't. I don't agree with that. And I think this is an unpopular opinion I have about her, because a lot of people just are not feeling her right now. And I mean, rightfully so. So, that's a tough one. And, you know, I feel like, you know, that's just one of those things where I do feel like, you know, at this point she's in a rock and a hard place. And I think that she's learning the hard way. And at the end of the day, as entrepreneurs, that's what happens. You learn the hard way. So, I mean, and I feel like sometimes, you know, the hardest lessons, you know, the hardest mistakes create the best lessons. So, I don't know. And another thing, it goes back to like what I was saying about bashing her. I feel like people are bashing her. You know, I've seen a lot of comments and tweets, you know, about her physical appearance and, you know, about her career and stuff like that. And it makes me think, like, where is this coming from? Like, is it coming from a place of like, you don't like her, you know what I'm saying? You just don't like her at all, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you can disagree with the decision that she's made without bashing her. Like, I truly believe that. So, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. Like I said, I feel like I have an unpopular opinion about that. And honestly, it's just a tough situation altogether. And I do think she took accountability for it. I do think she took accountability for it, even if it... I do think it was her doing. I think everybody has an accountability part. The people who plagiarized, whoever took the content from you know, these content creators, and her, you know, she has accountability in it too, because she didn't take the time to look over it. So everybody's at fault. Okay, everybody's at fault. But of course, you know, as a leader, as the face of the brand, as the author of the book, this is your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And publicly. So yeah, like I said, unpopular opinion. And like I said, I think you can agree, you know, you can disagree with her actions, you know, you can cancel her, whatever, but we don't have to bash her as a woman. It makes me feel like, you know, people like to see her downfall. And I don't know, it's sickening. It's sickening. You know, we're already fighting so many wars. And to praise a black woman's downfall, who I don't believe had a malicious intent, I think it's sick. I think it's sick. So yeah, what she did was wrong, and I think, like I said, if people want to cancel her, rightfully so. But it doesn't have to be this bashing war, this bashing battle against her. Like I don't necessarily agree with that. So yeah, tough situation. But hey, you know, I pray that, you know, it's my hope that, you know, she takes the time to really, really make this right, and she learns from this. And she takes care of the people that she hurt in this process, and, you know, and that she does what's best for her, you know, what's best for her business and what's best for her personally, you know, her mental health, because I can only imagine, you know, what she's dealing with. But moving on, crucify me, whatever. That's my opinion. So yes. In other news, some more good news about Black women, because I'm all about uplifting Black women. Amanda Sills is hosting the BET Awards 2020. I'm excited. I am excited. Amanda Sills just recently announced that she is leaving The Real after 6 months because she felt like, her voice was too powerful for the show. And she felt like, she wasn't appreciated there. So shout out to her, more power to her for leaving. And now, they just announced that she is hosting the BET Awards. I was not expecting that. And BET is one of the few production companies that has decided to move forward with a virtual event, with a virtual awards show. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see, what she has to offer. I'm excited to see how she carries this. And I'm also excited to see, just how the whole virtual event plays out. I'm excited to see that. And, 2020 has revealed, so many new things, I think, that we didn't know we were capable of. So to see this come to fruition is going to be, I think, mind-blowing to me. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see, like I said, how she does. And I'm excited to tune in to see how the whole BET Awards show goes. So, yeah, shout out to Amanda Sills. We need this. Black woman, we need this. So, yeah, shout out to her. But yeah, so that's all I have for today. Oh, and BET, if y'all listening, please, approve my press pass. Oh, I need to be on the red carpet. Okay, virtually, of course. But yeah, so yes, that's y'all dose of MASH for today. Thank y'all so much for listening, and see you. I always want to say see y'all soon because I feel like y'all here with me. I feel your presence. But no, I will talk to y'all. I'll talk to y'all later, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Honey, I got something to say. Ooh, I like that. Can you turn that up for me? No, it's Maja. But Maj for short. Ask Maj.